This is Adam Humphreys, and today we're going to make a bottle cap LED nightlight. Here we have 120 volts at 60 hertz coming in series with a 14K resistor, and actually this resistor is kind of hefty. It needs to be about 1.5 watts, because this whole circuit uses about 1.7 watts, and actually that's the circuit is very similar to the circuit you'd find in an LED, just an LED nightlight bulb you could buy commercially. But I like most LED nightlights are just too big, so I decided to make one of them bottle cap. Thought that would be pretty cool. And it's in series with a 47 microfarad capacitor and a 3.3 volt white LED. And then after that, we have a diode to keep the current flowing in one direction. And even though an LED is a diode, I've tried it before with this, and it kind of stopped working at at a certain voltage. And it had to have the full voltage in order to light, so it didn't work out too well. So if we start this, we can see what's going on here. On the positive half cycle of the 60 hertz, current goes through the resistor, and it goes through the LED, and it charges the capacitor, and it goes back through the diode. And as on the negative half cycle here, the capacitor discharges through the LED, so it stays lit just a little bit longer. So we can see the voltage goes from about 2.5 to 2.8. So it lights it up fairly well. Alright, let's get started. Okay, here are some of the supplies you will need, some of the parts. These are 4.7K resistors, or yellow, purple, red. And these are half watts. I'm rated at half watt, so it'll take 3 of these in series to make about 14K. And these are 2.2K resistors. Yeah, about they are quarter watts, so it takes 6 of those in series to make about 1.5 watts at about 13K. Here we have a 47 microfarad capacitor, and the voltage really doesn't matter too much as long as it's at least 6.3 should be good. I have a 10 volt capacitor here. Of course, we need a board to actually mount the parts on. A diode, the 3.3 volt white LED, or whatever color you'd like. Flashing, like roof flashing, just a thin piece of metal, something to use as prongs to stick in the socket, and of course your bottle cap. Now for the tool. Okay, here are some of the tools you'll need. This is a soldering iron, and it actually has a base, but it's not shown here. And of course the solder. I got an X-Acto knife here to cut a hole in the bottle cap for the LED. Diagonal cutters. And scissors. The scissors will actually be used to probably cut the board and the metal flashing, unless you got another pair of scissors for that, a rough pair of scissors. I just use these for rough stuff, so they get abused a lot. And so those are the tools you'll need. Okay, this is a working model, a working prototype of our circuit here on a little bitty cute breadboard. And as you can see, everything is working fine. And the resistor shouldn't really get that warm at all. So now all we have to do is actually build it. Okay, here you can see we've actually taken the scissors and cut our metal flashing about 1/4 inch wide. Now I'm trying to get some good length here, because we're going to fold these over, so we're going to double them up and get a little bit of thickness out of it when we use them as prongs. Okay, so here we have our prongs folded in half, and they're about 1 inch long, which is good because we actually still need a solder to the board. So when you cut your strips, cut about 2 inches, and that should be about right. Okay, when you place your prongs, they need to be approximately 6 holes of space from each other. So that leaves 4 holes available in between. And that's actually exactly half an inch right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold these back a little bit here. And it'll cover these 2 holes here, and this will cover these 2 holes. So altogether it's about 8 holes across. But make sure they actually stick out across the 6 holes, or exactly 0.5 inches. Okay, we've soldered on our prongs here, and I actually did use an extra tool. I used a pair of needle nose to actually hold the prongs on there, and after you get them on there, kind of spread them out a little bit, give it a little bit of thickness, so when you plug it in, you'll get it kind of firm, but not too firm, because you still got to take it out without too many problems. So yeah, it took a bit of solder, but it's on there pretty good, and it fits. Do test it, try it out, make sure it fits. The next thing you want to do is actually go ahead and make the hole in the bottle cap for the LED. As you can see, I've already done that. Just kind of reamed it out using the X-Acto knife. You wanna actually make sure you get a good fit on this before you actually stick it on your board. Make sure everything works fairly well. Otherwise, you'd probably have a hard time trying to get it to fit right when you already have it on the board. So just let you know. And also, I'm going ahead and actually trim down the board a little bit, as you can see there. Make sure everything fits well inside the bottle cap. You may need to trim it down some more, or if you want to actually get it under the rims, which is what I usually like to do. So when you do eventually solder in your LED, just kind of keep it a little bit above the board there, so that it'll actually stick out through the bottle cap. Alright, now we're almost to the finished product. What we've done here is just soldered on the LED, the resistors, the diode, and the capacitor. You can see that the capacitor is just right across the LED, and if you actually trace this back, you would see that it goes right here, goes through the diode, and to the capacitor and the LED, which go through the network of these 6 resistors in series. So now all we have to do is just place it inside the bottle cap. But first, it's always good to test things, make sure they work. In case if it does nothing, then that's not good. If it starts smoking, then that's really not good. Alright, so we have a working unit here. Now all we have to do is put it inside the bottle cap. Okay, here we are. We have the final product right here. Had to shave off a few of the edges a little bit to get it in the bottle cap nice. But there is the final result, and just plug it in here, and there we go. And these things actually work fairly well. Here's the first one I've made, and this one has been working for over a year now. As you can see, it's not all that good. The prongs are a lot shorter than they should be, but it was my first one, so pretty good. So do enjoy, and if it's a little bit too bright, you may put something over it, or use a bigger bottle cap and have the LED behind the bottle cap. So thank you very much.